Guys, and welcome to Mothmen 1966, the demo. This is about an urban legend. I forget where, but there was a rumor going around that there was a Mothman on the loose and people were seeing him in the sky. I forget where it was though. And the town that this happened in is like really popular now with this like urban legend or whatever. They do like some kind of celebration and like it brings like tourists in and whatever. So kind of interesting, but yeah, that's all I really know about this game. It's supposed to be kind of like a detective visual novel. So let's get into it. Oh, halt. Wait. 3 red and 5 black in the discard pile? Huh? Of the 6 cards face up on the counter, 2 are red and 4 are black. Am I supposed to remember that? 6 cards, 2 are red, 4 are black. So 5 red in all and 9 black. You have no more moves. So you have to bet now? What? I'm just guessing. Black card? The large majority of the face-up cards are black. And you know that betting against a streak is usually dangerous. Even though you've already chosen, you decided to stay away from the counter. You can't bear losing again. You think of your grandma Grandma Elsie, trying to win at solitaire for over 60 years. You take a deep breath and keep sweeping. Elsie's been paralyzed from the waist down since she was 21. Your mom was only 2 months old. The winter Elsie taught you to play solitaire, your parents and sister have been dead for almost a year, and you've already begun to forget their faces. Although you cook for her, do her laundry, bathe, and even dress her, it still feels like she's the one taking care of you. You close your eyes and almost feel Elsie stroking your hair. You're 11 years old again, kneeling next to her bed, crying your heart out. That's sad. Suddenly the bell rings and you feel an invisible force trying to drag you into the present. Oh. Do we look through the window or keep your eyes closed? We look through the window. Those effing kids. The first brat is followed by 2 more. They step on the hose and activate the bell for a second and third time. You don't know what comes over you, but you yell some things at them that you're too ashamed to remember. You justify yourself thinking that they might be the ones who got into your garbage that night and stole some parts of the replica machine gun you're building. Huh? You won't let anyone mess with your project. The Winham's steam machine gun is the jewel of your collection. The kids yell at you, old freak, and laugh, sheltered by the distance. Deep down you know that it can't be them. How would they know which parts of the machine gun were worth stealing? Anyway, that guard dog's been brought over in a few days and you'll be able to stop worrying. Check on the hose. You think about what someone told you at the bar about replacing the hose with a thicker one so that it would only be activated by the weight of a car. And what happens if the kids jump with their bikes and land on top of the hose with one of the wheels, you asked. Kids are always going to find some way to bust your balls. Go back in. You try to calm down. You look at the shelves and think of the solitaire your grandma taught you. Your grandma always says that everyone has their place in the world and that people keep dancing around it without ever reaching it. To win the solitaire, you have to stop dancing. You know that the chances of winning are incredibly low, almost 0. You can't bring yourself to turn over the next card and decide to start sorting the shelves instead. Doing simple jobs builds up your self-confidence and provides you some illusion of control. Ooh. Okay, grab from the upper shelf. Bottle. Oh, replace some... Oh, okay, we gotta, like, organize it. Can. Is this right, I hope? Lower. Box. Empty. Ah, okay. Bottle. Can. Middle. Bottle. Lower. Can. Okay. Is that right? Check shelves. Good. One type of product on each shelf. Okay. I did that right. Uh-oh. You scratch your head. This time, sorting the shelves doesn't help. You feel the same urgency as before, and you can't think of anything else. Is the card going to be black? You need it to be black. Suddenly the air seems heavy, and you find it a bit difficult to breathe. 3 men in black are staring at you. Although the window, you see a black Cadillac by the pump. Yes? You wish you asked how long they got into the station without you hearing the door open. Or how they left the car there without the bell ringing. But that trembling yes was the only thing you managed to utter. The moose. The moose? After a few seconds of not receiving any response, you decide to break the silence. Ask him what's up with the moose? You bought a woman a whiskey? You don't know if it's the right move, but you try to relax and be more friendly. Do you know of a more effective way to socialize? You told her the dream about your grandma? A chill runs through your body. It's been a few weeks since that night, and even though you had a good time with Martha and have no regrets, something about the way these men in black ask their questions make you uneasy. What do you want to know? Granny in the forest. One of the men farther back lets out a cackling noise, or a cracking noise. You look at him, believing he's laughing, but the man in black expression doesn't change. Ask them what they want. Ask them why they want to know. Tell them about your dream. Ask them why they want to know. No answers. It's like they're waiting for another response. Alright, tell them about the dream. My grandma has been bedridden for over 60 years, but in the dream, I saw her running through the woods. Start from the beginning. And don't omit any details. You don't know if it's the way they look at you or because of a certain authority in their voice, but you tell them everything about the dream. 5 or 6 weeks ago, you woke up in the middle of the night, certain that something had happened to your grandma. You ran up to her room, and Elsie wasn't in bed. The window was wide open. You ran to it and saw someone walking through the trees. It was her, and she was holding a rifle of the kind your ancestors would have carried in the Civil War. You tried to call out to her. Your grandma started running and shot 2 or 3 times into the blackness of the forest. You're about to go down to find her when a winged figure with glowing red eyes appeared in front of the window and screamed. You stumbled backwards, and after hitting your head on the bedpost, you lost consciousness. You woke up in your bed and remember the dream almost instantly. You went up to the stairs 2 at a time and opened the door to her room. Your grandmother slept peacefully. On the bedside table was the glass of milk you bring her every night and the deck of cards she uses to play solitaire. During the days that followed, you tried to convince yourself that it had all been a dream, even though you couldn't explain where the little stitches at the base of your skull had come from. Uh-oh. After a few seconds, one of the men in black speaks again. The spots on her legs predate her birth. Holt. What is he talking about? Is he referring to the dozens of moles on your grandma's legs? And what do they mean by saying those spots predate her birth? Elsie always makes the same joke when you sponge her calves. Be thankful that you have to clean my legs and not my grandfather's. According to what she told you, her granddad had been shot dead by an experimental weapon early in the Civil War, when his legs were ripped to shreds. The Winans steam gun, son, a machine gun that doesn't appear in any book. You think about the replica you were putting together in the workshop, and you wonder if it was the men in black who had stolen those pieces, right? You're not telling anyone else about this visit, Holt. You start to complain when one of the men in black picks up a card from the counter, the top card of the deck. The crunch horrifies you. The teeth of the men in black seem to tear more than simply paper. What? Desperate, you throw yourself under the counter and look for the card. Your heart is pounding. Jeez. You look out the window and you don't see the Cadillac. You walk to where the car was parked a few moments ago. You step on the hose and the bell rings. What the F? Jack of diamonds? Mother effer, it's red! You think about the edge one of the men in black tore off, and you remember the noise he made when he chewed it. Was it a threat? A warning? You wonder if you tell your grandma everything that happened or just keep your mouth shut and keep playing solitaire with a marked card. Okay, this is a demo version. We're now going to skip a chapter and take you directly to chapter 2. Oh, there's more. After a tense journey, Victoria and her boyfriend Lee had just arrived at Holt's gas station. Lee has planned a special date for Victoria, watching the Leonid meteor shower together. Leonid? We play Victoria. Lee turns off the car and looks you in the eye. He smiles, and that smile seriously pisses you off. Tell Lee. Before you can open your mouth, Lee taps you on the leg. Wait here, Vic. I swear you won't believe it. You bite your lip and take a deep breath. You can see him greet someone. Holt? Lee has written Holt Station on the map he'd thrown on your lap 20 minutes ago. He'd written it by hand and might as well have said Hort Station or Halt Station. Hell Station, even. Lee's handwriting has always been intriguing to you. You remember that time you mentioned it to him and he responded with a disproportionate anger? Okay. A nonsensical rant which involves several philosophers of language. And all because you told him his handwriting was dreadful. But you now know where those reactions come from. That night you two got drunk by the lake, Lee told you that his father wouldn't have wanted to be born ugly. After the initial surprise, you couldn't stifle a belly laugh, and Lee looked down. For a few moments, he didn't want to tell you anything else. You finally convinced him to continue. I always got what I wanted just by smiling. Ugly people have to develop other muscles. Unfortunately, those other muscles are the ones that last. You couldn't believe those words had come out of the mouth of a flesh and blood human being. Maybe some poorly written character from a cheap romantic novel, but Lee's father? You picture Lee that night, throwing pebbles from the shore while telling you everything about his father's teachings. All that frustration. Was that the night you got pregnant? You'd both been drinking. Suddenly you find it difficult to breathe. The interior of the car feels like it's getting smaller and smaller. You need some air. Say hi. Holt, right? Holt seems startled. Hello. This is Victoria, my girlfriend. Be back, Vic. You see them walk away with a box they took out of the trunk. And from the effort Holt's putting in, it seems heavy. What's inside the box? You're not stupid. You know that Lee has some business on the side beyond his work as an intern at the university. You heard some rumors and you have your suspicions. However, you never did too much digging. You prefer to keep it a mystery, something to make Lee a little more interesting. You light a cigarette. Would Lee be a good father? And the question that you still haven't had the courage to ask. Would you be a good mother? The clicks repeat at irritating intervals. Small moths approach the light to get electrocuted. Is that love, Victoria? You laugh and shake your head from side to side. You think of all the manuscripts you've torn up. You tried poetry, drawing. History seemed like an obvious choice. You don't need any talent to be a historian. Hello? The man talks to himself while holding something in his hand. Have you seen any winged creatures flying over the area yet? For a moment you think he's asking some kind of tricky question and you remain silent. However, something about him tells you that he's genuinely asking. You look at the man bathed in the shine of the streetlight and the scene fascinates you. Surreal, some of your old friends would have said, the ones that organize poetry nights and read La Tremont. Excuse me, you are? Oh yes, sorry, hi. Sorry. Lou Hill. Writer. Victoria Greenberry. History student. Winged creatures, Mr. Hill. Lou, please. Can I call you Victoria? You nod. I'm looking into about a dozen reports, Victoria. Numerous witnesses claim to have seen human-sized winged creatures flying over the area. Angels? Lou smiles, but the smile doesn't last long in his face. Look there at the top of the trees. It won't take you long to find one. You aim at the area Lou just told you. Everything's blurry, so you decide to adjust the binoculars. Ooh. Focus? Oh. Oh. Huh. You move the diopter to the left and notice the change in your left eye. Oh. Huh. Huh. That looks right. Let's go back to the focus wheel. You cannot rotate further to the right. If you can't focus, try adjusting the diopter first. It's adjusted to compensate for some issues with my left eye. Oh, try to adjust to see the same thing with both eyes, then focus. Okay, I feel like I did that, but maybe I didn't. So this looks the same, no? I'm gonna go all the way to the left then? There we go. What the? It was just a second, but you think you saw something up there. Was it suggested? I don't think they're angels, Victoria. But before I tell you my theory, I need your help. Could you draw in this notebook what you just saw? Yes. At any other time you have refused with some witty comment, but there's something about Lou Hill that invites you to play along. You wonder if the fact that he persisted himself as a writer had something to do with it. Draw the head. Alien-like head. Draw the body. And then the legs. Okay. But before giving it back, you write some notes further describing what you saw. Lou hasn't asked for them, but somehow they make you feel less anxious. You never felt confident about your work. Lou looks at the notebook for a second that feels too long. You think about the time you showed your sketches to your art teacher and how he embarrassed you in front of the rest of the class. Relatable. What? Sorry. I was talking to myself. You can't help but blush. Victoria? For once you're glad to hear Lee's voice. All good? Although he seems to be talking to you, Lee keeps staring at Lou. Lou Hill, writer. Lou holds out his hand. Lee Miller, historian. Lee walks over and puts his arm around you, his back to Lou. You know he must have been annoyed that Lou introduced himself as a writer. Although it's hard for you to admit, you like to be hugged. You feel safe. You think you would also feel safe if your grandmother's arms or in the arms of any other strong woman in your family. But the heat of Lee's body, the hardness of his muscles, you remember all those biologists' arguments you hate so much and you can't help but smile. It's like you're cheating when nobody's looking. Come on, Vic. Let's see the surprise. Close your eyes. Uh-oh. You close your eyes and let Lee guide you. Now open them. Huh? Picnic? So, what do you think? A romantic dinner for two under the same meteor shower that amazed our ancestors. You instinctively put your hand to your belly, and when you realize it, you put it to your pocket. You look at the dog tied to the post. Uh-oh. The dog growls into the dark. Uh-oh. You reached the end of the demo. Thanks for playing. Stay tuned for the full release of Mothmen 1966. Okay. So this is actually already on Steam. I just wanted to get a taste. Yeah, I think it's a pretty interesting story. I think it would have been nice if, like, a jump scare happened when I, like, focused the binoculars or something. Or I think it's cool, though, that you get to pick, like, you know, you get to choose what option you want. But yeah, that was Mothman 1966. I hope you enjoyed, and have a great day. Bye!